Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are opening up the blueprint to the incredible machinery of Sanskrit grammar. We're actually going to build a compound word, piece by piece, right from the ground up. So let's kick things off with this beautiful kind of built-in definition of our topic, the Avyayibhava compound. Its name literally tells you what it does. It's a grammatical process that takes a regular word, one that changes, and transforms it into a special, unchangeable, indeclinable unit. All right, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the basics, then we'll look at the master rule that drives everything. After that, we'll build a word step by step, check out some special cases, and finally, talk about why this whole process is just so important. Okay, before we can start building anything, we've got to lay the foundation. So let's look at the fundamental laws, the rules of the game, really, that govern every single compound we're going to talk about. I want you to think of these 5 principles from Panini's grammar as the laws of physics for compounding. They're always on in the background, making sure that words can only be joined if they actually have a meaningful connection and all the right grammatical parts. So, with those background laws in mind, let's zoom in on the master instruction, the one specific sutra that actually kicks off this whole Avyayibhava process. This is it. One single powerful rule from the Ashtadhyayi. It's like the master key that contains all the specific conditions that allow this type of compound to even exist. And here it is. Now don't worry, you do not need to memorize this. But what's so incredible is that this one single line lists 16 different meanings. Things like nearness, prosperity, succession, similarity, where an indeclinable word can merge with a regular noun to create our compound. All right, enough theory, let's actually put this into action. We're going to build our first compound, a jigapam, and we're going to follow its very precise step-by-step manufacturing process. So, we start with our raw materials. First, we've got the word gopaha, which means cowherd, along with its case ending, ni. Then we have our indeclinable, adi, which carries the meaning of in the matter of or concerning. And here's the grammatical assembly line in action. Each rule, or sutra, performs one specific job. First, the group is officially declared a compound. Then, that internal case ending gets deleted. The indeclinable adi moves to the front. The new word is made neuter, and its last vowel gets shortened. It's this incredible cascade of precise changes. So you might be wondering, after all that, deleting things, moving parts around, why is it still considered a valid word stem? Well, this brilliant logical principle is the key. It gives us the answer. And this analogy just illustrates the concept perfectly. Our word, adigop, is kind of like that dog. It's been modified, yeah, a part of it has been cut off, but its fundamental identity as a word stem is totally intact. And that means it's ready to take a new case ending to finish the process. Okay, let's move on and see how this really elegant system adapts to words with different endings and handles some other special conditions. Now, this is where you see just how nuanced the system is. The very last step depends completely on the last vowel of the new stem. For adigopa, which ends in that short a, its final case ending changes to which gives us adigopam. But for a word like adihari, which doesn't end in a, the final case ending is just deleted. It's left as is. The rules even account for gender. When you have a feminine noun like stri, with that long vowel sound, a specific rule kicks in, just to shorten that vowel. This makes sure the final form is grammatically perfect, becoming adishtri. To really make sure we've got this pattern down, let's do a quick run-through one more time. We'll build a new compound, this time using the meaning of nearness. So this time, our ingredients are the name Krishna, with its case ending, and the indeclinable upa, which means near. The goal here is simple. Create one single word that means near Krishna. And you guessed it, we followed the exact same assembly line as before. The master rule makes the compound, the internal case ending gets deleted, upa moves to the front, and because the new stem upa Krishna ends in a short a, the final ending becomes And there you have it, upa Krishnam. Okay, but this brings up a really fascinating question. If an indeclinable like upa, meaning near, forms a compound, why doesn't another one like samaya, which also means near, do the same thing? Why doesn't it work here? And the answer just shows you how profoundly logical this whole system is. See, some words like samaya are governed by other, very specific rules that demand a certain case ending. Now, if we tried to form a compound, that case ending would get deleted, right? And that would make the other rule totally pointless. So to avoid a contradiction, the system just says, nope, no compound here. It's just brilliant. So after digging into all this incredible detail, what's the big takeaway? Why does this super intricate step-by-step process actually matter so much?
Well, it's because this isn't random. This is a system, an engine designed to create complex ideas with absolute clarity and precision. It takes what could be a jumble of words and fuses them into a single, unambiguous conceptual unit. It literally turns chaos into order.
So let's do a quick recap. We've seen how these compounds turn regular nouns into these special indeclinables. We've seen how one master rule defines the context, how a clear, multi-step process gets the job done, and how these really clever logical principles make sure the whole system stays consistent and adaptable. And this leaves us with a pretty deep final thought. This system is way more than just grammar. It's a 2,500-year-old model of logical construction. So if language, the very tool we use to express our thoughts, can be engineered with this level of precision, what can an approach like that teach us about how we structure and communicate our own complex ideas today?